Socialist feminism. Ah, yes, here we are gathered for that today. Yes, we need to vote in the coming election, but we need to vote socialist. We need to register protest votes against the business-as-usual inhumane policies and actions perpetrating more poverty, crime, and environmental devastation. Here we are in the richest country on earth, and survivors of Katrina and Gustav and Ike are still roiling from the lack of government response to the homeless and the poor, because most of the survivors or the people who died in the hurricanes and the storms were black and poor and Asian and working class white people. We certainly can't depend on Sarah Palin to keep Roe v. Wade from being dismantled, can we? Socialist feminism is inherently international. Women all over the world understand historically why they are oppressed. Women live through the oppression every day, whether it's a Mexican or Iraqi woman who must gorge through garbage to find something to sell. Women struggle every day to find childcare or they'll lose their jobs, and women every day carry water on their backs to bathe and to wash their clothes. Socialist feminism encourages and embraces the leadership of women in our organizations and in the mass movements. It recognizes that women are already leaders in their families, unions, community, schools, and are often experts at cooperative versus patriarchal styles of leadership. Clara Fraser in an 1989 speech said, "If you're doubly exploited or triply oppressed, if you're in quadruple jeopardy, you're going to be that much more motivated. You've got that many more reasons to go out and hit the system, and you have a lot of determination and energy and conviction and anger that will sustain you in tough times. It is the multiply oppressed who will be the first to rise, who will give the impetus and the direction and push for revolutionary change." Revolutionary culture and art express the reality of our lives. The following poem resonates even though it was written in 1968 at the height of the Civil Rights Movement and the Vietnam War. Jazz singer Nina Simone and poet-dramatist Langston Hughes wrote, "Mr. Backlash, Mr. Backlash, just who do you think I am? You raise my taxes, freeze my wages, and send my son to Vietnam. You give me second-class houses and second-class schools. Do you think all the color folks are just second-class fools? Mr. Backlash, I'm gonna leave you with the backlash blues. When I try to find a job to earn a little cash, all you got to offer is your mean and white backlash. But the world is big, big, and bright and round, and it's full of folks like me who are black, yellow, beige, and brown. Mr. Backlash, I'm gonna leave you with the backlash blues. Mr. Backlash, just what do you think I got to lose? I'm gonna leave you with the backlash blues. You're the one that will have the blues, not me. Just wait and see." 1968, yes, we know what was going on there. You know, the Third World Strikes, the Vietnam War, you know, hippie love, all kinds of things were going on. But it was a proud and wonderful moment in our history, because where would we be without that? But we've got to continue from that and not just drop everything. So Mr. Backlash is none other than the capitalist system that wreaks havoc on our lives. Mr. Backlash is none other than the ruling class and big business that tell women to go back into the home and to stay there, even if you have a job and look good. Mr. Backlash is none other than the so-called traditional values that will imprison, gag, or murder you if you choose to live and love freely. Mr. Backlash is none other than warmongers that destroy people's lives and lands to benefit a few wealthy people. Women and revolution, alive and inseparable. We women have the intelligence. We have the will. We have the energy to kick Mr. Backlash off the face of the earth. We women can and will organize along with our gay, immigrant, youth, and worker allies of all colors, all genders, to build a world that will feed and nurture us, to celebrate humankind with our fullest potential and our creative minds and hands for the benefit of all people. We need a revolutionary party, a working people like those in this room and in the communities to help build a revolution here in the United States, where we do live in the belly of the imperialist beast. Some demands. Here's what socialist feminism will look like, or even before, because we're going to work together to figure out how to do it. How about 24-hour child care paid for by the government? How about teenage women having the right to decide whether to bear a child without parental notification? How about women workers deciding themselves what's best for their jobs and having a say in decision making? And how about free public education from kindergarten through college? And how about free access to multiracial and multisexual theater, dance, film, literature, art, and sports? Did any of you go to the Olympics? I didn't. How about free health care for all? Yeah, and free access to benefits regardless of marital status. Hey, how about communal laundries in kitchens? I'm willing to do that, taking turns. That'd be great. And how about open borders? And how about free love? All right. So there is so much more we can accomplish together by building a grassroots feminist movement independent of the twin parties of capital. German poet Bertolt Brecht says this in praise of communism. It's sensible. Anyone can understand it. It's easy. You're not an exploiter, so you can grasp it. It's a good thing for you. Find out more about it. The stupid, call it stupid. And the squalid, call it squalid. It is against squalor and against stupidity. The exploiters call it a crime. But we know it is the end of crime. It is not madness, but the end of madness. It is not the riddle, but the solution. It is the simple thing, so hard to achieve. But revolution, socialist feminist revolution, is achievable. Now is the time. Clara Fraser says it this way. God damn it, sisters, and I would add, God damn it, brothers and everyone else. Let's get revolutionary. Let's understand that the profit system is at the bottom of all this horror, and let's catapult ourselves into the main stage of history. The world is waiting for the sunrise. The power of socialist feminism persists. As long as the Wall Streeters hold working people and men in contempt, as long as the system sends off women and men to fight wars in the name of bourgeois democracy and for profits, as long as wealth is in the hands of a few, as long as the environment is devastated, as long as capitalism convulses, the revolution is ours to make. It is our greatest duty. It is our greatest joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Nellie. Wasn't that great?